Hello, Jester Good here, and today I'll be listing some LEGO sets or themes that were never released in the United States of America. These won't be the little European magazine and newspaper exclusive polybags shown here, but rather full sets and themes. These picks are not in any particular order, they are just the most interesting that fit the criteria. All music tracks will be listed in the bottom right hand corner as they play, and without further ado, let's get into this. In 2005, LEGO released a theme exclusive to Europe. It was called Dino 2010. You may be like, wait, I own some of those sets just too good and I live in the United States. Well look, unless you imported it, you don't have them. What you have are the Dino Attack sets. What's the difference? Well, according to the Brickopedia, Dino 2010 sets were tailored just for the European market, while the Dino Attack sets were tailored and released for the American and Asian markets. The big difference between the two was that the American Dino Attack sets were about killing the mutant dinosaurs, while the Europe-only Dino 2010 sets were about capturing the mutant dinosaurs. Yeah, I mean look, the Dino Attack sets are filled with blasters and guns and showed carnage and destruction in the city, while the Dino 2010 sets are far off in the forest and have cages, harpoons, and chains. I doubt that little grapple will do anything on that raptor, dude. The two themes also had different set numbers and piece counts since they were slightly different builds. Oh, and the set names for Dino Attack all had verses in the title and more military-like names, while Dino 2010 just stated the name of the vehicle. The Dino theme that followed it in 2012 was a mix of both and was released worldwide. Sure, they had guns, I mean knockout serum shooters, but they also had cages. It was a compromise to make it cool for the kiddies, but acceptable for the parents. My second choice is, well, two sets, but they're pretty similar. It's the LEGO Castle 2008 Advent Calendar and the LEGO Pirates 2009 Advent Calendar. Honestly, I have no definite answer why these weren't released in the United States, but I can assume that Advent Calendars are just more popular as a product in Europe than in North America. For example, I recall that Yu-Gi-Oh! Also had two Advent Calendars, but both were only released in Europe. Either way, both were pretty standard in terms of builds. I mean, it was nice to see the Swordfish piece return in the Pirates one, and the rare Witch from the Castle chess set in the Castle Calendar. The Castle one actually had an exclusive piece. You see, the Jester in this set had the same face print as the one released in the 2009 Drawbridge Defense set, but it has no alternate print. Weird, huh? Third on my list is the one that many have heard of, but it would be silly to leave off. It's the United Kingdom and Ireland exclusive LEGO minifigure series Team Great Britain. These were released in the summer of 2012 to coincide with the London Summer Olympics. Of course, they were only released in the United Kingdom and Ireland as it's based off of UK's team. It all makes sense. Either way, there were 9 minifigures and each had exclusive prints and lots of rare casting colors for pieces. For example, the boxer had boxing gloves in blue, the archer had Superman's hair in an earth orange. Also, each minifigure had a white minifigure stand with an awesome Team GB logo and stuff. Oh, and each had a medal, but they were released all in the same design. Unlike a later regional exclusive minifigure line, the minifigures in this theme were not based on actual players, they're just kind of generic players playing each sport. Did you know there was a LEGO theme of flower vases? These came out in 2010 and were exclusive to France, entitled Les Floristes, or the Florist. I don't speak French, so I'm going to be mispronouncing these words and names inevitably. There were 3 sets released, each exclusive to a different French florist. There was the Monceau Bleu Chic vase, which had 350 pieces, the Rapid Flore vase, which had 352 pieces, and the easy to pronounce Happy vase, which had 297 pieces. All 3 were named after the florist store they were sold in, and each were sold for about €19.90. The photos shown here are from the free lug site by Didier Njari, sorry I butchered your name, and you can see each one is numbered, and there's a link to that site in the description below. The Blue Cheek one was limited to 1,150 copies, and the Happy one was limited to 700 copies. These suckers are so obscure that they're not even listed on Brickset. Oh, and the site Erwin Levexier, sorry if I butchered that name as well, did a review of the Happy Vase set, and you could just see that premium packaging. There's a plastic container included, a vase in itself, and there's a link to that review in the description below as well. To celebrate the recent 2016 Summer Olympics in Brazil and the upcoming Paralympics, LEGO released a special set exclusive to Rio shops and airports. The set has Vinicius, the Rio Olympic mascot, and Tom, the Rio Paralympics mascot. The set only had around 200 pieces, and no, those aren't exclusive prints. They're just stickers. Oh well. Seeing how we got a special set for 2012 and 2016 Summer Games, I wonder if we'll get anything for the 2020 Summer Games in Tokyo. Starting in 2013, LEGO began to release an exclusive theme of sets to Asia, all celebrating the Chinese New Year. 2013 had the Year of the Snake set, which was a reskin of the LEGO Creator Set 6914, Prehistoric Hunter, but an exclusive gate build with some exclusive prints was included. Skipping 2014, LEGO released the Year of the Sheep set in 2015, and the Year of the Monkey set in 2016. Both were completely original sets. While the Year of the Snake set had the best packaging, the latter ones were much cheaper and had packets. A tradition in the Chinese New Year is to give away money to loved ones in envelopes like these, so it was a nice inclusion. The reason these sets were never released in the United States is pretty evident. I mean, the Chinese New Year is clearly more celebrated in Asia than the United States. If you thought the LEGO Vases was crazy, did you know about the LEGO paper line? Yeah, LEGO released a papercraft line in cooperation with Muji, a Japanese retail chain. The theme, just called LEGO Muji, has 16 documented sets on Brickset and was only released in Japanese stores. However, some sets apparently had a very short and limited release on the Muji.us website, so in a way, the whole theme doesn't qualify for the list. That doesn't really matter. There was a whole variety of sets actually, released from 2009 to 2011. Some include the Sea Scene, which has 91 pieces, and a basic starter set with 64 pieces. Look, these were pretty basic paper crafts in which LEGO bricks added just a bit of flair to them. Paper crafts are definitely something more popular in Japan than the United States, so it makes sense why these never hit store shelves here. And there's literally a set called Paper and Hole Puncher that Brickset lists under the line. That's, weird. In 1980, LEGO released a set capturing the design of an English town square with some nice castle flair. Dang, that rhymes. It was a town square castle scene set, 1592. This set was a United Kingdom's exclusive and a counterpart to the United States exclusive 1980 Main Street set, 6390, which captured an American town square. Look, there's even a fish and chip stand. That is British as heck. Interestingly enough, the town square castle scene set was re-released in the Netherlands in 1983 under the same number, but this time it had Dutch flags in writing. In celebration of the 2016 UEFA European Championship, which was a large football event that took place in June and July of this year, LEGO released an exclusive minifigure series based on Team DFB, or the official team for the German Football Association. Kids, you see, us Americans call football soccer. I apologize for any confusion there. Anyways, this series, despite being based on a team for Germany, was released on LEGO Shop at Home in places like the United Kingdom and France, but not in the United States. Of course, this is in addition to the release all across German stores. Unlike the Team GB series, this had the usual 16 minifigure number, but unlike any other series, each minifigure was based on a real player. That's pretty neat. While they skipped over many players in the team, there was still a good variety of players from all backgrounds, and the coach and goalie of the team were also included. These were only available for a short time, and Brickset did an article claiming that the series was retired as early as June 6, 2016, which was only a couple weeks after its release. Since its start in 2009, the LEGO Games line seemed to be an excellent seller in Europe, but a slower seller in the United States. A total of 7 LEGO games were never released in the United States, but released all over the world. The most notable of which was the Star Wars Battle of Hoth game from 2012. This set was planned to release in the United States in the same year, but apparently due to licensing issues, the set was never released in the United States. It seems as if LEGO didn't have the legal ability to sell Star Wars board games in America. There's also the Batman game and the Lord of the Rings game, which also may not have been released due to licensing issue, but nothing has been confirmed for those too. I actually think those weren't released in the United States because of the poor sales of the line in general, since both were released in the final year of the theme, 2013, but then again, I'm probably wrong as the LEGO Chima game was released in the United States that year. There's also the Lunar Command from 2009, UFO Attack from 2010, which were both released in the early years of the theme, so I don't know why they weren't released in the United States. Then there was Kakariko and Mini Taurus, which were both from 2012 that never made it to the States. These game sets were all released across Europe as far as I could tell. But that is it for the list. I hope you all learned something today. If you have any interesting ones that I did not put on the list, leave them in the comment section below. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Bye.